FragPunk is a 5v5 arcade type first person shooter type game that has a very popular niche type of game mode nowadays in FPS games called Search and Destroy, but of course with its own little twist that makes it different from the other games. Now what if I told you you can create extra bomb sites or actually completely delete a bomb site from the map, or just completely change the rules of the game entirely and make the game different than what it actually is? Well, here in FragPunk you can do exactly that, where it's a hero shooter, much like similar titles Valorant, Rainbow Six, and for those of you who are familiar with my channel, Stranova. Cool thing is, it's not even as simple as just changing up the sites on the map or maybe changing the game rules. There is also additional casual game modes such as Team Deathmatch, Zombies, and other cool game modes that you and your friends could get some games into. My name is Mikey, and today we'll be explaining everything that you need to know about FragPunk. So let's get right into the video. Now the main game mode in FragPunk is going to be called Shard Clash, both in casuals and in ranked play. Now in Shard Clash, we got the system called the Shard Card system. Now what exactly is the Shard Card system? The Shard Card system is FragPunk's unique spice to their game. In the main game mode Shard Clash, which is our standard search and destroy mode, attackers must plant the bomb while defenders must prevent this from happening. You know, our usual search and destroy type of rules. As mentioned before, the unique thing about this is the Shard Card system, which at the beginning of each round, you and your other 4 teammates will be dealt different cards. This is completely randomized, which inserts a very fun RNG into the game that alters the battle of every single round. There's only one currency while you are in game, and I want to be specific because when you are out of game there are different types of currencies that we will go over later on in this video, and this currency is called Shards, and you use these shards to be able to purchase these cards that are dealt to you at the beginning of every single round. But how exactly do you earn these shards to help your team buy these unique cards so you can lead your team towards victory and have a better advantage against your opponent? Well, to start off, your performance has a big impact on how much shards you can accumulate. Getting eliminations will increase your shard currency, getting assists and helping your teammates out generate kills, or in other words have an impact will generate more shards as well. Round outcomes as well, if you win the round you will generate more shards than if you lose, so make sure you're on top of your game. There is also in place loot shells scattered around the map that you can obtain either heals from or more shards, so keep a lookout for these as well. Once you get familiar with the map layouts, these will generally be easier to find. You can also earn shards from the vending machines, which are completely RNG based. Also, it is very important to note that the vending machines are unavailable on ranked play, so do not build this into your strategy if you plan on going hard in this game and getting competitive. I would say one of the more difficult things to get used to is selecting your hero quickly, or what we like to call in this game your Lancer. There is a total of 13 Lancers at the beginning of the game. Now this may obviously change as the game grows because that's what usually happens. New maps, new characters, and possibly we may see new shard cards. Actually, as a matter of fact, considering the fact that there are some shard cards that are only active in certain maps, and if new maps comes out, then obviously they're going to make more shard cards. And this is FragPunk's bread and butter, so I expect more shard cards in the future, making the games a little bit different each time there's a new update. But when first entering the game, I would quickly move over to the Lancer tab and decide which character you finna lock in, because you don't want to have your character taken if you planned on playing someone already. On that same topic, you should definitely get good at multiple characters, so that way if this does happen, you don't end up being stranded learning a new character. That is a tip mainly for my ranked players, but with enough gameplay you will understand the perfect fit for you. Lastly, let's talk about the weapons. So the weapons have this number 2 next to them, but what exactly does that mean? Well, what that means is that you only can select a weapon up to 2 times from a class before it removes it for that entire half. How does this happen? Well, if you die with the weapon, that'll mark the class down by 1. If you die twice with the weapon in that class, then it's completely gone for you for the rest of the half. Although there is 3 ways you actually can still get a weapon from a specific class if this happens to you. The first way is asking a teammate for a weapon. They could donate you a weapon that you can no longer grab. However, this does mark down that weapon for that teammate, which means they will be down 1 weapon in that class. The second way is you could grab it off dead teammates or enemies' bodies and hold on to it. And yes, this means if you select a weapon in a class to survive with it, the number won't go down. Lastly, you can use the vending machine. You might have a random chance to actually summon the weapon you are looking for, but just a reminder as mentioned before that this will not be in ranked. I would 100% also like to mention that casuals, which is a normal shard clash, is up to 4 rounds, but ranked is up to 6 rounds. But what if we draw? Is it win by 2 like other games? No, actually, another thing that I really enjoy about this game is the overtime feature. In FragPunk, if both teams end up with the same score before it's win by 1, overtime is led by 1v1s throughout your team. It's like gunfight from Call of Duty, except there is a bit of twist to it that makes it fun. You and your team will have to decide the order in which each one of you will take your turn. If you overlap when you want to go, it'll push a player over to the side at random, because most players want to go first in this from what I've noticed. After that, you have the Lancer selection, which just like in normal Shard Clash mode, only 1 player to a Lancer. But here's the catch. Whatever weapons you select, you are stuck with for the duration of the 1v1s. Also, Lancers have a total of 3 abilities. I didn't mention this before, but it's important to note this going into these duels. Whatever damage or abilities your opponent or you and your team takes in is permanent. Obviously, if you die, that's the end of the line for you and your run, and you will not be playing in the game again. But if you survive, whatever damage you take from the 150 you have at the start will be the starting point in the next duel. Same thing with your abilities. If you use one ability, the count goes down by 1 and it's permanent. So be careful with your ability usage, but at the same time, do not die a meaningless death. The goal at the very least is to win your duel and do some damage to the next opponent after you win that duel. The more wins you accumulate and damage you deal, the better off your team is to actually win this whole entire game. Also, a bonus thing I forgot to mention, you unlock these things called relics over time that do extra cool things to the shard cards, but this isn't available on ranked as well due to the game having to be balanced. Also, in my opinion, just feels like they wouldn't want to make the game fully RNG based because this could lead to complications down the road, especially with a competitive scene. Also, just a quick tip for you newcomers, if you don't really understand what shards you should be going for or don't understand the shard system, you can actually donate your shards over to somebody else who asks for them, and then you can see what exactly they do by paying attention. Also, what I've seen with newcomers from time to time, especially even in early ranked play, is that a lot of gamers won't use their shards and then it ends up being wasted, and you give your opponent the full advantage when your team has 0 cards. Then your team has a disadvantage and now you're handicapped versing a team that has extra abilities and extra benefits going against you. So if you are very slow scrolling through the menus or you quite don't understand how this system works, then you can hand over your shards to somebody else or maybe somebody you're playing with and then learn the game from there. Just a quick tip. About 99% of you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, and if this video is helping you out, smash the subscribe button to never miss a video. It is very, very appreciated. Thanks, guys. Now, what about things you do not have unlocked in FragPunk right away? Will you be able to unlock every single character? And what about the shards itself? Is it unfair that you have to unlock them by level? Can't someone just pay for them and get the winning edge over you and have every single card in the game? Well, let's answer this one by one. So do not stress out. If you do plan on coming into this game, you can unlock every single Lancer as a free-to-play player. Obviously, this will take some time, but that's okay if you decide you are going to play the heck out of this game, just like me. And also, skins and battle passes do not give you an unfair advantage in any type of way, so you do not got to worry about that stuff either. Stuff like that would obviously make this game very unfair and unfun to play. I don't even think unfun's a word. So getting back on topic here, there's a currency in this game called gold that is used to purchase Lancers. Each Lancer costs about 18,888 gold to unlock. And I know that's such a strange number. Don't ask me why that's the number. You know, the development team did that for some reason. I guess it's all implemented in a certain way so that we spend a certain amount of time to play this game. Anyways, you gain this gold currency simply by daily login rewards, playing matches and performing well, and also redemption codes. Which, by the way, the current redemption codes that are working right now will be listed here, and this should help you with heading towards your goal and unlocking another Lancer. I will also list the current redemption codes at this time in the description of this video so we can copy and paste it. Don't worry, I got you guys who just want to copy and paste it because I know it could be annoying typing it eye to eye from this video. So just go in the description. If for some reason these codes don't work or you're late to this video watching this in the future, I'm sure you can look up some redemption codes that are currently active in your specific time. Also, on the second day of logging in, you should be able to receive a Lancer statue, which ultimately will give you a free Lancer to choose from. Now, another thing you can do is complete your daily challenges, weekly challenges, or season challenges and participating in events to earn extra of this gold currency. Now, with that out of the way, what about the shard cards? Can a player just buy the shard cards and get an advantage over another player? The answer is no, they cannot. The development team made it so that everyone has fair game to unlock these shard cards. As of right now, there are a total of 169 shard cards that are available for the launch of the game, but as I mentioned before earlier in this video, that can completely change, and I know it will change. The shard cards are unlocked through leveling up your account. In game, when shard cards are chosen at random, they are pulled from the combination of your team's inventory. The higher level each individual is on your team, the more chance you will have to see a card appear in the draw. There are a total of 4 types of shard cards, and when broken down this way, it'll be easier to understand. So just stick with me here. So first we have Lancer cards, which enhance Lancer abilities or change them to give you an advantage. For example, changing the size of you and your teammates' heads to make you more evasive, or increasing the enemy's head size to make it an easier target to hit. Second, we have weapon cards, which change how weapons function. Whether that helps damage from distance, give you extra ammo, increases fire rate, the list goes on and on and on. Third, we have map cards, which we mentioned in the beginning of this video, which alternates how the map is played, cutting off routes to sites, adding cool effects like mist on a site so that way nobody can see anything, or even just leaving the site completely blank for the most open plant spot imaginable, leaving no cover for you or the enemy. Then lastly, we have rule cards, which change how the rounds are played out by adding time limit or taking time away, or some crazy things like being able to rip off your HP bar and swap it with your teammate or an enemy. I told you all this game could get crazy, but trust me, it's addicting in a good way. As you can imagine, some cards require more shards than other cards. The more shards you put into a card can really change the game in some intense ways. There is also shard cards that allow you to put however much investment into this card between 1 to 5 shards, justifying the power of the card. Now, I know I just went over a buttload of information and this may seem overwhelming, but like with any game you play or anything you do, putting in the time will give you a better understanding of the game, and if you are coming from an FPS game that has the search and destroy rules, do not worry, you already understand half the battle of getting into FragPunk. Also, those relics that I mentioned earlier for casual shard clash are also gained through account level as well. I just wanted to also mention the gunplay in this game feels ridiculously smooth and the game just runs amazingly, which is honestly really surprising considering the fact most games have issues when they launch. Now, I'm not saying this game is exactly perfect as they are still trying to solve different issues such as players randomly crashing, but for what it's worth, this game gives me some crazy FPS and I am maximizing my settings. The game has somewhat of a learning curve, so it can be quite confusing for newcomers at first, and that's why people like me are here. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything you don't understand. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. I am enjoying the hell out of this game, and let me know if you guys are too. Make sure you guys smash the subscribe button, leave a like, and join the community Discord. Thanks for watching. Peace out.